Good morning. Happy Sunday. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, awesome. Right. So, um, thank you for joining me this morning. Welcome to everybody. If you want to ask any questions, please feel free to put something in the chat. If you've got any questions at all, but I won't keep you too long this Sunday morning. I'm just going to go through a few things. I know um, sometimes summer can be really difficult, can't it, to just keep on the healthy sort of fitness track because there's social events going on, and there's also you might have children or grandchildren at school, and they're on summer holidays, and there's lots going on. So September is sometimes a really good time just to say, right, summer's gone, and now I can focus. Goal setting and motivation is what I'm going to talk about this morning. And I say a lot, sorry. With goal setting, it's one of those things that's very personal. And it's one of those things where you have to decide what's important for you and what is your own personal goal. Now, I'm a great believer in writing everything down so I can see it visually. So my goal might be to tone up a bit in the next few weeks. Now I can think that in my head, but unless I've got it written down somewhere, it makes it more real if you write it down. Would you agree? Agree with that? So everybody has their own goals, but it's what you want to achieve. So we need to think about being smart with our goals. Now we're all busy women. We've all got life going on. And I can say to you, till I'm blue in the face, you need to come first, and your needs should be more important than everybody else's. But I know in real life that doesn't happen, does it? We never put ourselves first. We do everything for everybody else, and we come at the last of the pile. So I just want you to think about SMART goals. Now, this is a really good way of deciding what you want. So, SMART goals, they need to be small goals. So, if you're thinking about losing 3 stone, then yes, that's a brilliant goal, but that's quite a big goal, and you need to break it down into smaller chunks. So rather than saying I want to lose 3 stone, which just might seem a bit mind blowing and a bit out of the way, then say to yourself, SMART is small, so I want to lose 1 or 2 pounds in the next few weeks. And then once you've got to that, you can then tick that off. Right, brilliant. That's what I set out to achieve, and I've done it. Fantastic. And then you're more likely and more motivated to carry on to do the rest of it. If it's too big of a goal, it just becomes this massive thing. And then we beat ourselves up because we feel guilty, and we're like, oh God, I thought I was going to lose 3 stone and I haven't. And then everything collapses down. So it's about small goals, measurable goals. So something that you can measure. So maybe you might say, as you know, I've been doing this for 18 years. And back in my Rosemary Connolly days, it was all about the scales, absolutely all about the scales. And I haven't jumped on the scales now for the last 4 or 5 years. We don't even own scales. My goals, yeah, I want to tone up. I'm a woman. I like to feel confident in my clothes and all that. But I go by how my clothes feel and how I feel in myself. And I know if I've had a bit of a naughty day, because the next day I get up and I feel really rubbish. Um, so, yeah, I do go through what you go through. I'm not a saint all the time, absolutely not. But you have to live as well. And it's the finding that fine balance. So they have to be measurable goals. So I would say that my clothes are my measure of whether I'm getting out and how I feel in myself. Because if I've had rubbish, I feel rubbish. That's just what happens. So measurable goals. So maybe you might want to measure yourself rather than hopping on the scales. I know some of you can't quite get out of that mindset of I've lost a pound, I've put on a pound. I've lost a pound, I've put on a pound. And we go through this whole beat myself up, pat myself on the back, beat myself up, pat myself on the back, because you're going pound up, pound down. And us women, we might even have a bit of water retention, and it might show as a pound on, and you might go, oh my God, I've been really good. Why have I put on a pound? And then it all comes crashing down. All right, does that make sense? Yeah, yeah, it does. It's what we do. And so chuck your scales away. Don't need your scales. So measurable goals and achievable goals. If it's no good saying, well, I'm gonna do Rosie's classes. I'm gonna do every one of Rosie's classes for the next 4 weeks, and I'm gonna lose weight and I'm gonna tone up if you haven't got the time, because you're just gonna put yourself under this immense pressure. So it has to be achievable. And we have to start small and realistic, really realistic. If you've not got the time to do all that, then don't make that your goal. And it comes back as well, and time based, that all kind of comes under the same thing. And just come back to little things, changing little things, so smart, little achievable goals, one thing at a time will really make a difference. So I always say Rome wasn't built in a day. And you need to think about habit stacking. If you've lost your mojo and you've lost your healthy habits, then rather than suddenly again going, right, I'm going to just go all in and do all Rosie's stuff, and I'm going to do what she says, I'm going to drink more water, eat more vegetables, it all becomes again too much. So I want you to think about little habit changes each day or each week, smart, achievable. So you might say to yourself when you come off here, right, I understand what Roz has said. My first habit that I'm going to try and change, I'm not drinking enough water. Maybe that's what you're not doing. So make that your first habit to get that under control. So you might write that down. Instead of saying something like, I need to drink more water, plan it out in your get a water chart if that's what's going to help, and just say, on this week, Monday, I'm going to up my water by 1 glass. Tuesday, I'm going to up my water by 2 glasses. Wednesday, I'm going to up it. And put it down. I will, rather than, oh, I need to, because that's a bit woolly and a bit fluffy. We're not setting that goal down. It's like with your exercise. So you might say, I want to increase my exercise. I need to increase my exercise. You need to switch that round and say, I will do Rosie's Lift Lean 15-minute classes 3 times a week, and then get your diary and write it down as if it's an appointment, as if you're going to go to the dentist or have your hair done or go to the opticians. Write down 12 o'clock, wherever it is. You can join me at 6:30, absolutely. But if you're not around at 6:30, do the replay, but write it in your diary. Monday, I'm going to do Rosie's Lift Lean. Wednesday, I'm going to do Rosie's Lift Lean. Friday, I'm going to do Rosie's Lift Lean. All right, and tick it off as you do it. Aim for more. Then say to yourself, okay, if you don't quite get to the 3, even if you did 1 and you didn't quite do the 3, or even if you upped your water by a couple of days, but you didn't quite do all of the days, that's an achievement. Don't see it as a negative, because if you hadn't started it at all, even doing 1 is better than doing none at all. All right, so plan it in for 3, even if you just do 1, that is a benefit, and that is blooming brilliant. All right, because that's 1 more than you would have done. So go back to habit stacking. I digress. So think about changing one thing next week. Maybe your water, maybe it's your Lift Lean, maybe it's adding more vegetables, whatever it may be that you think you need to do, then get that habit done. All right. And then that becomes something that actually, if you start to increase your water to what you should be drinking, 2 to 3 litres a day, once you get to that point and then you don't do it, you'll feel rubbish. So you'll keep it, it will just become a habit, and you'll go, right, okay, it just becomes part of what you do without even thinking about it, drinking your water. It always makes me wonder, we clean our teeth every day, twice a day without fail, don't we? Because we know if we don't look after our teeth, we end up in the dentist and it costs a lot of money and we're in agony and we're in pain. Why don't we think about the same for our bodies? If we're not looking after our bodies, then we end up with maybe some medical issues, or we feel we end up hurting our backs or hurting our knees or whatever, because we're not putting that time in to look after the rest of our bodies. We spend all that 4 minutes a day, whatever, twice a day, teeth without fail, but we just don't think about planning in for the rest of our bodies. Why is that? I don't know. Somebody answers on a postcard. So, habit stacking and writing it down. Identify as well as writing down your goal, identify if there's any barriers that you might be putting up in your head. Maybe it's you say, well, I'm suffering with menopause symptoms, so I can't possibly do any exercise because I feel bleh. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're not sure of what sort of exercise you like to do. So I would identify what your barriers might be, write them down. You know, most of you know me, you've known me for a long time. I am on the end of the phone, I'm on the end of the WhatsApp, I'm on the end of the email, the chat. I'm more than happy to chat to you and just, be there for you if you've got any questions. What I'm passionate about is helping people with their fitness and getting fitter. So just identify what your barriers are. If we know what our barriers are, we're more likely to overcome them. You do know, if you haven't been to my classes before, you can have a free trial. You can try any of my classes for free. It doesn't have to cost you anything. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. But I don't charge you to have a trial. I don't charge you to have a free week. You can have a free week with me and you can try all the different classes and just see if you really like it. We have a fantastic WhatsApp community as well with our VIPs where people help each other. And I love seeing all the little messages and people helping. So, if you feel like you need this community to help, then, and you join my VIP, we help each other and that's what we do. So identify your barriers, think about your goals. And also, I just mentioned, if you have lost your mojo, is it because you are suffering with menopause symptoms and you're tired and maybe you're stressed? Then I would recommend that the first thing you look at before you do anything else is what you are fueling your body with, and are you having enough? Like, we go back to the water, hydration. Because if you think about it, like I was saying about we don't look after our bodies, your body, all your cells are made up of what you're putting in on a daily basis. Yeah. So if you're eating rubbish, how is your body going to cope with that? It can't use it. If you're eating lots of sugary things, it's a toxin. It can give you inflammation. So that will hurt your joints. It will make you feel lethargic. It's got no nutritional value whatsoever. And I think you'll agree with me. If you eat something sugary, you have what 5 minutes of feeling good. Then what happens? Guilt. You feel crap. You think, oh, why did I do that? Then you beat yourself up. Then you feel worse. So just think about what you are fueling your body with. Now, there's lots of science out there now about gut health, isn't there? And if you're struggling and you want a little bit of help, I created a 7-day healthy gut plan, which you can get. If you're VIP, you can get that on a discount. So do ping me a message and let me know. But all the recipes are designed to help to feed your gut, because now they're saying, aren't they, that if your gut's healthier, it improves the rest of your body and your brain. So we'd be looking at more plant-based foods. There's my little analogy. I say the further away from nature we go, the fatter we become. If you're eating a lot of processed foods, then they can have all sorts of nasties in them and they can really upset your gut balance. So think about what you're fueling, add more plant-based things, maybe reduce down your meat or your processed foods, and just see if you can start from there. With the stress, I've done loads of talks on stress and sleep and everything, but what it always boils down to, there are loads of tips. I might have to do a different little chat for you about those, or just look back through my the app or the Facebook page, because there'll be some things some tips I've done on those. But again, when we talk about stress and we talk about sleep, we always come back to add more leafy greens, maybe don't eat late at night. It all comes back to what you're fueling your body with, really, because you could be eating stuff like caffeine, coffee. If you're having coffee too late, it can affect your sleep, things like that. So it really does boil down to what you're eating. All right. So that's that's what I would say is your baseline. So think about, let's just recap what there's a lot of information coming at you, I know. So goal setting. All right. If you lost your mojo, you've got menopause symptoms, think about what you're eating. Think about how you can fuel your body correctly. Write down your goal. All right. Small goals and work with them and see if you can then get your eating right. All right. Think about your nutrition, your fuel in your body, up your water, and then start to identify. If you're someone who eats because you're stressed, then I always my little tip for that is before you if you're stressed and you want to eat, before you grab anything, write down how you're feeling. Do a few star jumps, walk around the block. Do one of my little relaxation, my 5-minute IB for flex that I filmed on the beach. Do one of those. But just write down how you're feeling. And then think, if I have that chocolate bar or that glass of wine because I feel stressed, is my, whatever the problem is that's making you stressed, is that going to go away after you've had that chocolate bar and that glass of wine? Probably not. All right. And then you're going to stress yourself out even more. So just write it down. Why am I feeling stressed? Identify, why am I feeling stressed? And it might just be, well, actually, I just need to get up and go for a walk. If the problem, sometimes we can't solve all the problems. So you have to kind of just put it to the back of your mind. I know. I go through stress as well, and I know what it's like. So just identifying why you feel stressed is a really good way of just sorting out how you can kind of, right, okay, well, I felt stressed about that. So what can I do next time? What are my strategies? What did Roz say? She said, do some star jumps, do her 5-minute IB flex, put down the wine and go for a walk. That's what she said. Anyway, so just think about setting your goals, writing it down, identifying. Is this all making sense, or am I just talking a load of jib? Yeah, good. We've got our 4-week, well, on the app is our Menofit 7-day. So if you want to do something for your menopause symptoms, I've created a 7-day Menofit plan on the online programs. You can start at any time. I have put a time limit on it because sometimes we need like time-based. So you might say, okay, right, because if there's not a time limit to it, that's when you just say, oh, I can't be bothered. If you know you've got to do it by a certain time, then you're going to stick to it. So there's the 7-day Menofit. Again, I can give you a code for that one, but it's got a few 15-minute exercises on there for you to do, and it's got recipes, good Menofit recipes, so good nutrition if you're going through menopause, and some tips on the sleep and the stress. And that's all in a little online program on your app. I'm sure you've all seen the app. If you haven't, why not? All right, so you've got all those programs there. Okay, and the Menofit one is there, 7-day Menofit. All right, and you can go on there, and like I say, once you've got it, it is time based, so it'll give you about 10 days, I think, to complete. But it's good accountability. So that's the last thing I'm going to talk about is accountability. So if you need to be accountable, then I'm your gal. All right. We've also got our 4-week drop a dress size, but it's also based with menopause to help you with your menopause. If you want to drop a dress size, again, we're not going for lose a stone. We're looking at toning up. Then that 4-week program starts on the 23rd of September, and I know lots of you have done these 4-week programs with me before, and you love them and you get on really well with them. It's about habit stacking. It's that accountability. So if you need me to help and guide you through, I will be there for you, and you've got my one-to-one support once a week on that, and I'll drill down into your nutrition and really get a handle on what you're eating and I can help you identify, and we can help sort that out. So if you want to join that 4-week course, there are only 10 spaces. I've already sold one, so there's 9 spaces left if you want to join me, and I'll encourage you and be there for you for your accountability if you want to do that with me or have a look at anything on the app. Now, I've spent 20 minutes rambling on. Has that helped? Yes. Good. I hope it has. Just think about your goals. Don't try and beat yourself up. And if you need me, I am here. Just ping me a message. But I really hope that's helped. Have a think now. Grab your pen. I can't live without my planners. All right, so grab a pen, write down what you want to achieve. Little habit stacks, habit changes, smart goals, and away you go. The world is your oyster, ladies. Thank you for joining me. Hope that helped, and ping me a message if you want any. Oh, brilliant. Thanks for your little messages. Ping me a message on WhatsApp or whatever if you need any more help or direction. Have a fabulous Sunday. I shall see you tomorrow, Liffleen, 6:30 in the morning. We're going to ramp it up again. See you later. Bye, gang.